Hi guys, Autumn here today to do my week 3 and 4 of February weekly wrap up. I read a total of 8 books in these past 2 weeks. Sorry I didn't post last week. I just was in California for my Nana's funeral. We left on Sunday and I just didn't get to film a wrap up. So this is week 3 and 4 of February. So I read a total of 19 books in February, and I'm going to talk about the 8. One of them was the first book I read in March, but since it's March 3rd when I'm filming this, so yes. So let's get to it. I'll talk about the 2 physical books I read, and then I'll talk about the ones on my Kindle. So the first physical book I read was Distant Desires by Cambria Herbert. This is a erotic tale from beyond the stars, so this is an alien book. This has volumes 1 through 3 in it, and I read this for the Alien, what is it called? Alien something for the Romanceopoly. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Sophie and Turk, or Tank, or something. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But essentially what this book is that he kidnaps Sophie to do some experiments on her, and yes, this is erotic. So there is a lot of steamy times, so just be aware. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Really did enjoy it. It's also on Kindle Unlimited if you have that and want to read that. So, yes. Then I read The Kiss Thief by L.J. Shin. This was in my Romance Revealed book box for February, and I've heard really good things about this. It came out in January, and I just decided to pick it up. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, really enjoyed it. I listened to it on audio. This is also on Kindle Unlimited. This was the first book by L.J. Shin that I've read, and it won't be the last. I will pick up more books by her. This follows Francesca and Wolf. So Francesca has this box where there's 3 notes telling her about her future husband and true love. The night before, like a big ball, she reads one of the notes, and it says that she will get kissed by her true love at the ball or party or whatever it is. And at that ball, she tells a stranger, and things happen, and it is an arranged marriage, and an age gap. So if you're not a fan of that, I would not read this, but I really enjoyed it. It does have a slight love triangle in it, but really, really good. Gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and yeah, highly recommend. And then I'm just going to talk briefly about the Read Me Romance podcast. I read 2 of them. The first one was Because of You by Jenica Snow. This I gave 4 out of 5 stars. This is part of the Read Me Romance podcast for the week of February 2018 and till February 22. This is a stepbrother romance, so if you're not a fan of that, don't read it. But I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Catherine and Sutton, and as I said, a stepbrother romance. And that's all I'm going to tell you. I really enjoy the Read Me Romance podcast, and highly recommend you guys listen to it because they're free audiobooks. And the banter between Tessa Bailey, Alexa Riley, which is Mel and Leah, is just hilarious. I love I love this romance podcast, and I will listen to it as long as they do it. But that was the first one I read. And then the second one I read, bless me, sorry, is Roping the Cowboy by Kennedy Fox. I give this 4 out of 5 stars. This was the release from the 25th of February to the 1st of March, which is the book I read in March. This is the Read Me Romance podcast, and this follows Katerina and Braxton. They had a one-night stand, and they're dealing with that. And this book has a lot of pranks and stuff. It was fun. I love Kennedy Fox, so yes. Again, free on the Read Me Romance podcast. Really enjoyed it. And then the last book I'm going to show you, I don't actually own a physical copy of it. I borrowed it from my library on audio, and that is Verging Wife. This is book 1 in the Crazy Love series. This follows Corbin and Tegan. This was the first book I've read by this author. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This follows Tegan, who just found out her boyfriend is cheating on her, and she also got fired from her job, and then she gets in a car wreck, and the car wreck is Corbin, and then he recently just lost his grandma, and he needs to get married to earn his money from his grandma's will. So he offers Tegan some money if they decide to get married, be his fake wife. 3 out of 5 stars. And then let's talk about the few other books I read. So the next 2 are a duology, and I'm just going to mention them together. The first one is Virgin Husband by Alexa Riley. This came out on the 23rd. This is on Kindle Unlimited. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This follows Caroline and Aiden. Aiden is married to his best friend Savannah, and it was just a fake marriage. They're not in love with each other or anything. He was just helping out Savannah, and then he meets Caroline, and he decides he doesn't want to be married anymore. So yes, if you've read any of Alexa Riley's books, you know they are alpha, instant lovey kinda, and this is no different. If you do have a problem with cheating, I would not recommend this, but I don't really think it's cheating. But anyways, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, and yeah. Then the second book I read was the second book in that duology, which is Verging Wife by Alexa Riley. This came out on the 28th. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This is book 2 in that duology, and this is Savannah's and Wyatt's story. And yeah, this is just like the fallout of the end of Virgin Husband, and yeah, 3 out of 5 stars. And then the last book I read during the month was Tinsel by Denby Perry. This came out on the 19th of December. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This is the final book in the Lurk Cove series. 4th and final book. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This follows Sophie and Dakota. I love this book. There's so many emotions in this book, and I highly, highly recommend. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I feel like you should just go in with this book not knowing, and read the other 3 first. You don't have to, but I highly recommend it because you do meet the characters in that. But anyways, highly recommend this series. 5 out of 5 stars. And those are all the books I read the last 2 weeks of February. And yeah, so in total of February, I read 19 books. 11 of them were audio, 12 of them were new releases, 7 of them were on Kindle. I gave 3 of them 5 stars, 8 of them 4 stars, and 8 books 3 stars. My favorite book of the month was The Case Thief by L.J. Shin. But really, I really enjoyed all 3 of the 5 stars I gave, which is The Kiss Thief, Tinsel, and Wild Flame by Macaulay Smaltzer. I read 6 new to me authors. I read 5 books on Kindle Unlimited, and 7 of my blacklist, which means I've had them for a while. And yeah, that's pretty much all my wrap up of February and my wrap up for the last 2 weeks of February. If you want a full review on any of these books, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to. And what are some books you read in February? And I'll see you guys later. Bye.